Conversations with myself, I wonder who been frontin'. But the money keep coming. Hey.
Brandy Bug Beats.
And my mind keep running. Conversations with myself, I wonder who been frontin'.
What's going down, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Rolling with Nick. This is episode 3. I thank you for anyone who has joined me or tunes in watching these. Again, I can only tell you what my life experience is. If you guys want to know the whole story, you gotta go check out my music. But we already have one rolled up. He's a little guy, but I guess lately what I've been thinking, or this week, I've been thinking about perseverance. And I think about all the, what you consider greats. Great people in life. Whether that be rappers, artists, athletes, anybody who society has considered greats. They all persevered through something. Not through something, many things. And I don't think people realize that perseverance, you need to have perseverance before you even hop on this roller coaster of fucking entrepreneurship or, being your own boss or anything that pertains to a dream. You need to have perseverance. I guess for me, my perseverance came along the way. I couldn't tell you that I always had it. Again, to understand my story, you have to go listen to the music, but ever since I was young, I've always persevered. I feel like I was always in survival mode and had to persevere through moments, I kind of didn't really have a choice. But I didn't learn that until about mid-teenager, when I realized that I had been folding and I wasn't really persevering. See, at a young age, I was introduced to drugs and alcohol, so that happened to be my fold, Now that I look back at it, that was me not being able to persevere through what life was throwing at me, The ups and the downs, the good and the bad, because without the good, there wouldn't be bad, and vice versa. So, and I didn't understand that. So I folded, and at a young age became addicted to heroin and prescription pills and other substances, because I couldn't persevere through what life had thrown at me. I also couldn't accept it, I believe acceptance and perseverance is what it takes to become successful. Most of the time that I couldn't accept things, I folded and went back to my addiction, or back to that person, or back to that situation, or back to what was familiar. Even if I was suffering in the situation, I still went back because I didn't think I could persevere through most of what life had thrown at me. And see, as I learned this, as I began to learn this, that's where the need for change came, I grew up completely surrounded in that life, completely submerged in my addiction. Pretty much everything and anything I did was about my addiction or pertaining to my addiction. I blatantly, I spent my first car money on heroin, on Oxycontin, and heroin. But that at a time I didn't see no way out of this life that I was in, and I felt like I had to succumb to what life had given me already, and for that, and in that instance, I chose pleasure over persevering through the pain and going through it, I guess I was thinking about this a lot because I'm going through things business-wise and personal-wise where I'm trying to figure out, and it seems like it's always when things are about to get good, and they get good, and I have like, you know, a couple good streaks and or good day streaks, and things like the tides are turning, but then something comes along the way, and you know, in my mind, in my mind, and my subconscious tells me to fold, you know, back down and succumb to what the easier option is. But in my heart, I continue to choose to persevere through these moments, you know. And so at a young age, when I felt this urge to change and stuff, that's when I knew I had to try to get clean. So it took me from 18 to fucking 30 to even stop prescription pills. No, and that's stopping. Like my journey into being introduced into sobriety, you would say, well, because I smoke weed, but that was just the fucking beginning when I was 18. So since I had been 13, 14 till 30, I had been taking prescription pills, drinking, using, you know, etc. I had been folding since then. And even though I had a couple endeavors and a couple good streaks throughout my life, and I was a what you would say, functioning addict or alcoholic, I still had an issue, you know, that I was folding, and it was because of a lot of things I couldn't accept in my life, the way they were going, and how things were so unfavored in my corner, you know. Regardless, I persevered, and every battle isn't gonna be a complete win, you know. That battle to gain sobriety from drugs and alcohol took me fucking, what I just explained, almost 12 years. So, but the thing is, I never folded, you know, persevered through it. And now I'm about to have 4 years off of alcohol and other substances, and I'm barely starting to see benefits and rewards of it. So it's like, a lot of the time we put this work in and we don't want to persevere through because we're in a world full of instant gratification. You know, we're instantaneously posting a picture and used to, you know, likes or instant reactions and things like that. Money being sent to us now, everything at our own hands and pleasure, but perseverance, you know, delayed gratification is where the real reward is, you know. But they won't tell you that, because they're going to give you the now. The money now. We're going to give you the money now. Or you could take a better check if you do it for the long run, but if you take the money now, there's a lot of situations I can tell you in which I could have folded. Again, that's just something you're going to have to discover through my music and as we develop more of a relationship through this, but there's plenty of times where I could have folded, you know. I had plenty of major events that happened in my life, you know, being home invaded, being robbed, being a pistol whipped over the head, staples in my head, you know, fucking through my addiction, being broke, losing everything, being, you know, having $100 grand in my pocket to $0 the next day. And these were life-changing moments that I had to have. I had to, but I had to also persevere through these moments, because they built character. You know, I wouldn't change it for nothing, honestly. Throughout all the fucking ups and downs, and mostly downs, very small ups, I just kept going, you know. And I think that's where, you know, we're in a world where if we don't see results, we give up. You know, I hope to continue to persevere through these. You know, there's times where You post videos and things like that, and you get no reaction, nothing back. Sometimes I put out songs and I hear nothing back. Nothing at all. Or maybe I do get feedback that I don't even care to hear for. I had to make the choice whether I'm going to continue to persevere through these or not, you know? Sometimes it's a lot easier to just take the L and keep moving rather than hold on to that loss and carry the weight, because I've done that before. I've carried the weight of loss, you know, and grief, and carried it for years. I think that's why there's a very thin line. Sometimes I don't allow myself to feel these emotions. I just persevere through. I guess I'm in a way I'm grateful for that, because I was in survivor mode so long as a child, but that you have to take some time to process this and understand, just like everything in life, it's a passing moment, you know? Those hits, those L's, they're gonna come regardless. Nobody got to the top without taking losses. And nobody will tell you that either. A lot of people won't tell you that. They'll just show you the overnight success journey, you know? They'll show you the shit that they want you to see. But they won't tell you about how many times they lost, and how many times they thought they didn't have it, you know? I truly believe that the moments that make you are the moments when all odds are against you. That's what defines you. Those are defining moments. And I found myself there plenty of times. Like I said, you have to listen to the music. We'll get more in depth to those stories. But I could live with failure. I can't live with regret. I'll regret if I don't persevere through. There's times in my life where I knew I folded, and I thought, damn, and the haunting thought of regret stayed with me longer than the decision that I couldn't make, whether I should persevere or not, and go through it or not. Most of the time, these moments, really, you get through them and you realize they weren't that bad, you know? That you weathered the storm, that you can handle. That's kind of like, I go to the gym early in the morning and get it done, so whatever the rest of the day throws at me, I know I can handle that, because I already pretty much did my hardest part of the day, you know? Perseverance and acceptance is key. You have to accept your you don't have to like your circumstances. You have to accept. I have to accept some losses. It's very hard. I'm very prideful. I'm very stubborn. My ego gets in the way a lot. But breaking that ego down and understanding that losses happen, and I gotta just take this and keep moving, rather than hold that loss and stay in the fucking mud. Accepting it. Because once that I can accept, I can adjust and maneuver, you know? Things are gonna happen and get thrown at you regardless, you know? And I had to learn that, and I think that part of learning that also came from sobriety, you know? I didn't really have no way to cope with the way life was being thrown at me. So now I understand, if I persevere through these moments, I get to keep my sobriety, and I get to, you know, work through these situations rather than completely avoid them and never grow. See, if we always avoid these things in our life and continue to make them bigger than they need to be, we'll continue to move around the mountain instead of going up and over it. You'll just do circles all around it. Never going nowhere. I'm trying to go up. You feel me? I think that's all I got today. I thank you guys for watching, tuning in. Hopefully whatever you guys are going through, just understand it passes, persevere. Drop a comment below. If there's anything else you guys want me to talk about, any stories you want me to get into, just drop me any question, or you guys just want to say what's up, drop me a comment down below. Hit that subscribe button. Follow me on all social media platforms. Again, we're still growing here. I'm still growing and getting comfortable with you guys. I appreciate each and every single one of you guys. And we're almost to 1,000 subs, so when we get there, I got something special for you guys. Thank you.
In my mind keep running. Conversations with myself, I wonder who been frontin'.